Hello everyone, welcome to Rika's podcast. This is a podcast where I talk about whatever that pops into my head in English and Japanese, bilingual mode. In today's episode, I have invited my dear friend Evan to talk with me on this podcast about Labor Day. And somehow we ended up talking about bra. さて皆さん、今日もリカーズポッドキャストへお越しいただきありがとうございます。この番組では私リカが日々の思いなどを思いつくままに英語と日本語を交えながらお話ししております。今日のエピソードではお友達のエヴァンを招いて勤労感謝の日ということでお仕事の話や、そしてなぜかブラジャーの話をしております。皆さん楽しんでください。Alright, let's get started.Hey Evan, we have Evan here today.
Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we did a podcast together last time. I think it was right before Halloween.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Now it's the end of November.
Yes.
Yeah, time flies, ね。
It certainly does, my goodness.
どうですか、最近?
Good. It's been good recently. You know, it's getting colder.
You like that?
I do. It's very refreshing for me. Especially coming, always living in hot places all my life. When the cold weather comes, it feels very nice.
Yeah, the air is crisp and sky is blue. I really like this season. But I wish autumn would last a little bit longer because it's going away too quickly.
Very true. It's very fleeting, you know?
そうそう。もう少しなんか秋を楽しみたいですけど。So you've been out and about these days?
Trying to, whether by myself or not. Trying to just do interesting, fun things. Especially, like we said, with the weather cooling down, it's much more comfortable and easy to go out and do things outside.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I've just been trying to
explore
and enjoy the wonderful places around me.
That's very nice, yes. And also enjoying the autumn leaves and
for sure.
Food.
Yes.
Going to cafes and trying out new kind of sweets.
Absolutely.
That's what you've been doing.
もちろんよ。
Have you found anything really good?
最近のやつ。
最近のエヴァンの、おすすめスイーツ。
Well, I mean, recently, at Starbucks actually, they have their kind of winter set items out now. Even though we were just talking about fall, but they have this really good like strawberry chocolate Frappuccino, and it is bliss. It is
bliss.
It is very, very nice.
へえ、そうなんだ。Of course, it's a limited time only.
Of course.
Up until Christmas, maybe?
Probably about there. All the best things are only available for a limited time.
We're just talking about lucky bags at Starbucks. How my student got a reservation? No, applied for the lottery to win the chance of getting lucky bags.
Yeah, you don't win the lucky bag. You win the opportunity to buy a lucky bag.
Yeah, that's what she said. なんかスターバックスの福袋の話をしてて、生徒さんがその抽選に応募したかなんかで Yeah, lucky bags is I guess like that's a thing in Japan, right? Like you don't really have lucky bags in the States?
Not so much. I mean, at least not to the level that Japan has.
Yeah, people fight over some really good lucky bags here at the department stores or I don't really buy lucky bags because I just want to buy the things I want to get. So lucky bags, usually you cannot see inside.
Right, you don't like the gamble.
No, not really. Yeah, because it's always a disappointment for me at least. But I guess like Starbucks and those kind of novelty goods might be really nice. But so...
Yeah, I know, because I also know a lot of people who they love the, just the mystery of it. Like, it could be anything.
The thrill.
Even the thing that I really want. Like, then why don't you just buy the thing you really want? But But what if it's just the chance? Like,
Nah.
all right. I mean, I kind of understand,
I
know,
do,
it's
I do.
the thrill,
I
you
do.
know,
Yeah, of course.
the excitement. But, you know,
Mm.
there's always the chance of disappointment, so just be prepared.
Yeah. I've been disappointed good enough, so I guess like I wouldn't want any more disappointments in my life. かな
I get enough of that every time I look in the mirror.
Oh, no, don't
I'm
say
kidding.
that. What are you
I'm
talking
kidding.
about?
冗談だよ.
So, we only have like a month to go this year.
Yeah.
This year.
Doesn't feel like it.
It does not.
No.
Yeah, I see all the posters of a Christmas cake decorations, or hurry up and then do your New Year's cards ready and things like that. It's like I feel so rushed.
Oh, the Christmas season especially, it's, as they say, they have no chill. As soon as Halloween is over,
Black Friday,
boom, we move to Christmas. And
here as well. But how about like Thanksgiving? Well, 来週じゃない?
Yeah, it's always I believe the third Thursday of November. So I think next week.
But that's a big deal as well.
Big holiday, but there's no like commercialism around it. There's no like merchandise. No, there isn't really. It's more about the food and family. I guess
you eat turkey.
Yeah, and you usually eat way too much. You feel very fat, and you have leftovers for days.
そうよね.
And that's how it goes.
Family get together. You actually do that as well.
Oh yeah,
family.
And sometimes you do more than one. Like if you have in-laws or extended family. Like many times we would like have Thanksgiving dinner at my house, and then maybe the next day or something, or the day before, we went to like my sister-in-law's parents and have like a Thanksgiving dinner there. So sometimes you have more than one, depending on the families. And
so you keep eating.
yeah, so much food, so much eating, so much like accidental sleeping.
Accidental sleeping.
You overeat and you're just like, oh man, that was good.
Like food coma.
Yeah, food coma and also, but I mean, Thanksgiving, it's you get together with your family and you try to spend good quality time together, but no Thanksgiving is complete without these really bizarre random arguments with your family either. Like there's always someone at the table, usually like an uncle or a cousin, who has these like maybe conspiracy theories or brings up some very sensitive topics, and then it and then becomes exactly, and it's a huge argument at the table, and you're like, I just want to eat my turkey. I just want to eat turkey.
I guess that happens, like for
always.
New Year's holidays here in Japan as well.
Really?
I guess like not everyone, but I think like some people start some kind of, it's like talking about the touchy subjects. とかじゃない?
Yeah. There's always that one relative. Like they're like, this is my chance to piss off my whole family.
Oh no. そっか. But turkey is a must.
That is, without a doubt, like the symbol, I guess, of Thanksgiving dinner. And I mean, turkey. Do you like turkey?
I've had it only like a couple of times, but I do. It's almost like chicken.
It's very similar. It's kind of dry.
So not as juicy as chicken.
Yeah, you definitely need a good gravy.
Yeah, それsaid gravy sauce がね.
Yeah. And when you like, because a big thing too is like baking the turkey, and it takes a few hours.
More than a few hours.
More than, depending on how you make it, yeah. But so much of the time, like many times, you have to baste the turkey. You got to get the little baster, and you're giving it a shower every so often, to try to keep it moist. Baste. Yeah. It's usually the only time you ever use that word. Basting the turkey. Baste is a B-A-S-T-E.
So you open up the oven. The oven and you baste the turkey with the sauce that it comes out from the you can use like a long spoon or something and scoop it on, or many times there's a turkey baster. It looks like like an eyedropper, but very big, and you suck up the juices and squeeze it over the top. Why don't they just use chicken instead of turkey?
you know, these are the logical questions that we should be asking, but I don't know. Maybe because maybe chicken's too common. I don't know. But I mean, you can get turkey all the time. Like turkey sandwiches and turkey clubs, like they're so common. So I don't know. It's maybe it goes back to the tradition of Thanksgiving way back when.
そうね、まあ traditional event だからね。Do you wish you were in the States now for the Thanksgiving?
Yes and no. I mean, it'd be nice to have a really nice dinner with my family and spend quality time with them. But I mean, things are still very dicey back home, so I also don't mind not being there. It's both sides.
Yeah, そうだよね。そっかそっか。
Yeah, but I mean, Thanksgiving dinner though, even though turkey is usually the star of the show, my favorite thing might be like the cheapest, but stuffing is my favorite side dish.
That's inside the turkey.
It doesn't have to be, but a lot of times, they literally stuff it into the turkey and kind of cook it in the bird. But that's probably my favorite part of the Thanksgiving dinner is the stuffing.
What is it anyway? It's like a bread?
Yeah, it's literally like kind of like dried like breadcrumbs mixed with various things like maybe onion, garlic, spices.
You can taste different kind of thing in it.
Yeah, yes. And then you cook it and you kind of you rehydrate.
Oh, okay.
It and it gets kind of this like soft, not quite mushy, but this very nice, pleasant, soft texture, and it's just
Something
so tasty.
That you cannot get here in Japan, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
ないだろうね、なかなかね。
And it's so tasty.
そっか。いつもエヴァンと話すと食べ物の話になってwe end up talking about food. And
it's true.
Which is fine because we love food. Yeah, we're trying to think of what to talk about on this podcast, and then we just decided not to have any topics and just wing it.
Yes, no plan. Just go for it.
そう、今マクドナルドの駐車場にいるけど still long line of people waiting.
Yeah, surprisingly. I always feel a little bit bad for the employees.
Yeah, they look so busy.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, because tomorrow is Labor Day.
Yes.
The 23rd. You also have Labor Day there?
We do.
The same day?
It's a different day in America. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forget what day it is. But we do. I think it's usually in like maybe spring or summer. I'm trying to remember.
Do you do anything special?
Not at all.
I mean, we don't either.
Some people do have like picnics.
Picnics
like
for
Labor Day, like a Labor Day picnic. I guess I don't know why that's a thing, but there are many families that go have picnics. And I think also it's a thing that people wear white.
White?
I think.
なんで?
That's a great question. I don't. I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. As you can tell, I don't do it. But I think many people do that.
そうなの?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But yeah, it's just people mostly look forward to it as a day not to have work.
I know, right? And then it's Tuesday tomorrow, and then I think many people are happy about it because it's just, Monday, and the next day we have a day off. So yeah, excited to have a national holiday.
Absolutely. Oh.
そうね。So speaking of Labor Day, Labor Day ということ、勤労感謝の日って日本語では言いますから。Labor Day questions. Random Labor Day questions. So, you've had many part-time jobs in your life?
I've had a few.
So I know that you've worked at Starbucks, but what else?
I did.
Have
and
you done?
Starbucks was actually, I guess, technically my first quote-unquote full-time job. I mean, the job I had before that, maybe sometimes I worked like full-time hours, but I was technically part-time. I worked at a discount store that mainly sold clothing, but they also sold home goods, sports goods, those kinds of things. and I also worked at an arts and crafts store, and I also was an Uber Eats driver.
あ、そうなんだ。
Yes.
ウーバーイーツどうだった？
Not bad. But if it's your main job, I don't recommend it because you're probably not going to make enough money. But it's very, very simple.
You on your bike?
A car.
A car.
Use my car, yeah. And I think if you were to use your bike, it'd be best if you lived in like a big city.
Yeah, like 東京とかね。
Yeah, but I lived in like, I guess a suburban-ish area, so the distance would be way too far for a bike. But yeah, you just use your own car, and everything is done through the app.
そうだよ
I
ね。
mean, everything. Even the like hiring process, it's not even a hiring, like you don't have an interview or anything.
へー、
You
そうなの？
kind of apply and sign up.
Online?
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then if they go through all your information, and if they
あ、そう。
and like they do like a background check,
あ、
and
そうなんだ。
if you pass, then you can just start doing it.
I wonder if it's the same in Japan. あ、一緒かもね、じゃあね。Maybe
maybe.
it's the same ね。へー、私もよくわからないや。
But oftentimes, like you know, they need to have your car information very specific,
そう。
and I know like if you're a regular Uber driver, it's more strict.
Right.
Because obviously people are getting in your car, so it's
so
so
nice.
it's, the
Uber.
rules are more strict.
I mean, Uber started off as a taxi.
Right,
I mean,
basically, like
okay.
yeah, like a private ride-sharing
Chauffeur.
kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But then they branched out to
あ、そっか
food delivery,
そっかそっか。もともとはドライバーだったんだ。
and that's still
元々はね。
probably the main
Yeah.
thing.
And then branched out したのか。
Yeah.
へー。
And also, I think if you're a regular Uber driver, you will make more money than an Uber Eats driver.
I guess, yeah.
But being an Uber Eats driver was very easy, as long as you know you don't mind driving a lot and handling to-go food, and going to random people's houses.
そうよね。へー。
But it's the process is very simple. You know, you have your app, and you just turn it on, and you wait for someone to order something, and then a little ping will happen, like, oh, here's an order,
あー、そっか。
and you know X number of minutes away. Do you want to accept? And you don't have to, because everything's up to you. You're like, okay, sure. And then they tell you where to go.
そっか。
And then after you pick up the food, then it tells you where to deliver it. So
Everything is done online.
it's just,
So
yeah,
it's
just right through
like
the app.
The job of this time of the ね。
Yeah.
This period of time じゃない？
Because like,
そうだよね。
you know, I did that job for many months, and I never once talked to an employee of Uber. Everything was on the app. Like getting paid, all of that stuff, just directly through the app in your bank account, and
面白いよね。
very simple, yeah.
We don't have that here in Miyazaki.
I guess
mean, like
not.
maybe Miyazaki City they might have it, but not
Maybe.
here in Nobeoka or where you live, right? Because we don't really need that. And there's not much demand.
Yeah.
What was the first job for you?
My very first job was the arts and crafts store.
あ、そうなんだ。へー。
I was in college. I think my second year of college, I think, is when I started. Maybe my first year. But it was a franchise store, so you know, like corporate. So it didn't have that like small business kind of atmosphere. It was kind of hard because my shift was 5 a.m. And I was part of the crew that would unload the merchandise truck.
Oh, wow.
And then sort everything and put it on the shelves.
Yeah.
A stalker, not a stalker. That's different.
Stalker.
I do that for fun.
ストックする人ね。
Yeah. That's just a hobby. That's not a job. But yeah, but it was tough for me because I went to work at 5. I finished at 8, and then I went to school at 9.
Wow.
And then, so I was falling asleep,
そうね。それはちょっと大変だ。
and it was all I had to quit eventually because I had a hard time
Catching up
at
at
school,
the
trying to, function.
Yeah, of course.
But it was my first job, and it was physically stressful, but not hard. And at least I had a fun group of people to work with,
Yeah,
so that was
that's
helpful.
good.
But that was my first
そうなんだ。
First job.
へー
And the pay was, of course, minimum wage.
Yeah,
Which-
I mean, like, yeah, that's
Which
the
at that
start,
time
yes.
was way less than it is now.
Yeah, そうね。
What was your first job?
My first job, I was trying to think. Oh, I think that was my babysitter.
A
I was a
babysitter?
babysitter
Really?
when I was in college as well. It was interesting because I was not planning on being a babysitter, but my teacher, my English teacher from the States, and he was looking for a babysitter for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She was only like 1 or something.
Oh, wow.
And babysitting is not really a popular job here in Japan. Do you know that? I mean, like
didn't
for
know
high
that.
schoolers or university students, I think it's very popular in the States.
Yeah.
But here we just don't have the idea of hiring a babysitter for
Right.
your kids.
Right.
So that was like, I was very surprised because I don't have I didn't have any, well, no, I don't, but I don't have any kids, or I don't know how to babysit.
Right.
And then you were asking me to babysit this 1-year-old American girl. So, and then, but I was like, oh, that might be interesting. And I felt kind of responsible for it. But he was like, you could do it because you just have to, feed her and then change her from time to time. So, だから she was 100% American baby. And she was not able to talk.
Right.
I mean, she was only 1. Nothing, she was just making some sounds. But
Sure,
that was
yeah.
about it. And then whenever I think he wanted to go surfing or he had some kind of business, and I would go to their place to babysit for a few hours, maybe a few times a week or something. And I got used to it, and I was pretty good at it too.
All right.
And I think that really helped me learn some English, because I was
Interesting.
talking to this little girl who doesn't know what I'm saying in English all the time, without worrying about making any mistakes.
Oh, sure.
And then I was just talking to her constantly. And then I think it really helped me, with my English.
Yeah.
And then, but eventually her English got better for some reason. I don't know why. 'Cause I was reading to her the picture books in English and everything. But one day she was looking at me so like really, I don't know like how she put it, but she was like, Rika, you're saying this wrong. Or she was pointing out my pronunciation.
The 1-year-old.
Yeah, eventually, because I was doing that for a year or 2.
Oh, okay. So,
And then she, grew up, and then she was able to talk, and then I don't know why and what happened, but her English was better than mine. So, だから面白いバイトだったかな。
Yeah.
Have you done any babysitting?
no.
It is popular.
It is, especially for women.
あ、そうか。
Like
そうか
male
女性の
babysitters
方か。
are not as common. I guess I don't know if it's because the image of women being better at caring for children. I
Yeah.
guess maybe, but
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm sure a guy could do totally fine being a babysitter.
Yeah.
But I've never done that. And
so
plus,
far.
like, I'm the youngest in my family, and so like I
You're
never.
the baby of your family.
Yeah, I've never had any experience like
so far.
babysitting or not with little kids. I was so if I had to be a babysitter, I'm sure that after about an hour the house would be on fire. Because it's nope.
Yeah, but I really had a good time with this little girl. Yeah, her name is Bridget. I remember clearly. And then I even went to visit her and her family back in the States, and they live in Portland. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice memory.
Right on.
So. Yeah, my parents were very worried about me babysitting this little girl because I was
Really?
only a college student back then, and then no experience or whatsoever. But for me, it was great. Yes.
Right on.
Labor Day, ですよ. So what are we supposed to do on a Labor Day? Are we supposed to be thankful for having a job?
I guess, or I guess it's like thanks to all the people who work really hard
そっか
for
for us
making the
って感じ.
country function. I guess.
確かに.
かな?
そうね、そうよね。Because all kinds of jobs exist. That's why we make a living like this.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we can lead our lives. So we were saying in class earlier about what kind of jobs would you like to try if you can choose one. And you said you'd like to try voice actor?
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. An interesting, I guess, creative outlet.
It's very popular now, ne?
Yeah, especially in Japan. It's very popular. But yeah, it seems like a lot of fun to be a voice actor. And plus, because voice actors, I think, are viewed at a higher level than they are in, like, America. Like, in Japan, I think, like, they're looked at as, like, legitimate actors, right? But in America, I think there's a gap.
Especially these days, I think they didn't used to be so popular back then, but I think in the recent years, I think they have become so popular that they have concerts sometimes.
Yeah, or they'll have like fan events and you get to interact or maybe they do like special like live show events or radio broadcasts, and all of that seems like it's very fun.
Yeah.
So like being
more
voice
like idols, the kanji.
Kind of, yeah. Just less dancing, you know. But
less dancing.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, it seems like it'd be an interesting job to try. Would I be any good at it? Debatable. But it seems like it'd be fun. Well, what about you? If you could try any kind of part-time job?
I don't know. なんだろう I think working in a cafe is nice because I've never done it before.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Like a waitress or...
Like a little nice coffee shop. Nice little coffee shop.
Oh, sure. Like some nice little family-owned business. Kind of.
Mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
Or, そうね. Never really thought about that. かな.
And how about you at home? What kind of job would you want to try if you had any chance? Like, you know, no restrictions, just try for a day. What would it be?
Yeah, please think about that.
You might surprise yourself with what you come up with.
So. But we were talking about like the minimum wage and everything, and then here in Miyazaki it was maybe 800?
800 something?
20 yen or something. And in Tokyo it was 1,041 yen or something. Yeah.
Right.
And then you were saying that that's pretty low?
Yeah. I mean,
it depends on the job.
I mean, I don't think that's low compared to a lot of places around the world, but in terms of making a living, I think it might be difficult if that's your only job, you know, and you make, you know, 820 yen an hour, you know, living might be a little tight, you know. And of course, like in Tokyo, you said it's around 1,000 yen, but everything costs more in Tokyo.
Right, yeah. Even the rents, and I don't know how people are making their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even you look at, like, especially in Tokyo, like, some apartments that are basically a closet, and that's, like, $650 a month, which I'm like, how do you pay for anything?
And then you also mentioned about what's going on in the States because of the pandemic, and then...
Yeah, the food service industry has taken a massive blow. Because... Yeah, I mean, it's just that business industry has been so strongly affected by the pandemic, I think, everywhere. I mean, you know, and...
I heard something about that, yeah. And then they're struggling because people are going back to those, like, restaurants and cafes, but they don't have enough people working there.
Yeah, it's really tough because, I mean, I think, especially during the height of the pandemic, the restaurants, their business was, you know, significantly... just damaged. I mean, because if you can't have people come to the restaurant, how do you make money?
They just closed their restaurants and cafes and for a certain time, and then so...
And so now, like, the waiters and waitresses and whatnot who, I mean, still do work, I mean, they have so many more restrictions and difficulties that they have to deal with doing their job, and I'm sure it's stressful on a whole new level, both from... the job side, and I'm sure dealing with some customers where if they don't want to maybe follow certain rules or, you know,
it must be tough.
And it's got to be tough. And so a lot of people have quit those jobs and then they don't want to go back. They want to do something else.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, because of the quarantine lasted such a long time that they felt kind of less motivated to go into work.
Yeah.
So they just want to stay home and then do something more meaningful. And then that's
Absolutely.
why the places like that have been understaffed.
For sure. And you know, yeah, and especially being a waiter or waitress, at least in America, your paycheck is not the same as a normal job. I mean, you don't make minimum wage. You make less than minimum wage, but you do make tips. And does that balance it out? Sometimes. I mean, I've had friends that were waiters and waitresses, and, you know, on a busy night, and people, if they tip well, then maybe they make more than the average person does. But if they have a slow night, or people don't tip well, then maybe their pay for the day is surprisingly low.
So it's not very stable.
It fluctuates greatly. What kind of paycheck you'll get.
How will this change? I mean, from now on, does like food industry, because of what's happening right now, I wonder, because they have to.
I'm sure it has to change, right?
Yeah. How?
It has to
I
adapt.
wonder just how they will change.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, especially if those businesses, if they want more people to work for them, they need to create incentives, make them want to work, and maybe that means more money. That's probably the number one issue, is just money.
The money will motivate people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
to do that, they would have to cover the damage that they have suffered from, and then on top of that, they have to make more money too.
Yeah.
So that sounds really tough.
Yeah, it's it's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
そうね。すごい難しい。
Yeah. And I mean, just from hearing friends talk about it, being like a waiter, it can be really stressful. I mean, extremely stressful. And you work so hard in those jobs, sometimes for, no gratitude, no reward. Sometimes, and it...
Thankless job sometimes. I mean, like, some customers can be nice, but...
Oh, yeah, and sometimes if they tip heavy, with a heavy hand, then it's great and it's worth it, but...
It's not like every day, though.
I mean, it's a grind, though. And so I can understand the hesitancy to return to a job like that.
Oh yeah, of course. If you're away from that for such a long time, then you just don't want to do it anymore. That's the change that they're facing now.
But I mean, I know like in Japan, if you're a waiter or a waitress, you make a regular wage, right? I mean, because there's no tipping.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder, hypothetically, if they did something like that in America, I wonder how people would feel about it.
People, you mean customers?
Yeah, customers, or even workers as well. Like, would they embrace that kind of change, or would they pull back against it? Or I don't know. It's...
You mean like abolish tipping itself?
Or? I don't know about getting rid of that, but I mean, I guess making it a more of a standard for payment, for income rather, and I guess maybe lowering the expectation for tips or tip amounts because they make a regular wage, which, I mean, to be honest, I'm sure customers would be happy about that because it means paying less money.
Right.
But I do wonder how those who work in that industry would feel about that.
Something has to change, I guess, yeah.
For sure.
まあ難しいとこですね。
But what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do, right?
しょうがないだぜ。
しょうがないんですよね、本当に。時代が変わっていくので、things have been changing a lot.
Yeah.
ね。Traveling is also changing. The style of traveling, I guess.
Big time. And the rules and...
Yeah.
And have you heard like stories about since the pandemic began, especially in America, on airplanes, there's been such an increase of like customer, like travelers being like disruptive, unruly, or violent toward, like airline attendants and airline workers and things like that.
Because of the mask mandate or the rules that they have to follow?
I think kind of all of it. Like,
all of
I
it.
guess
So they're frustrated, so they're kind of taking out on the...
Yeah, it's wild that...
So, I might have heard a few stories like that, but not too many. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You've been hearing a lot?
Yeah. At least in the U.S., it's been happening more than ever, I think. Of just... I guess when people have rules set upon them, some people don't like it, and what do you mean what do you mean I can't put all my bags, in the seat next to me and above me and behind me and in front of me? This is America. I should be like, all right, like it's it's
そっかそんなあるかもね。
maybe
It might be happening. そうかな。
But it's gotta be tough too, like being in the travel industry.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Like I'm sure here, like if you work at maybe like for the train station, train companies or bus companies, plane like airlines, it's got to be tough.
Oh yeah. Some people like that. They just make trouble and then they have to deal with them nicely,
Of course.
politely, even though they're being, really stupid and stuff. Soね。サービスインダストリーはタフですよね。
Absolutely.
そういう人たちに感謝しないといけない。So that's why we have to appreciate those people working in
Of
those
course.
places for the Labor Day itself かな。
Yeah, and kind of related to that, I mean, at least in Japan, fingers crossed, the pandemic has been definitely calming down
For some reason.
significantly, and because of that, people are traveling more and going places again within the country. And now that that's happening, if things are fully, safe and, I guess, apropos for vacations and things like that, is there anywhere in Japan you would like to go now that you can?
Oh, in Japan?
Yes. Like if you could, like is there anywhere you've been thinking like, I was planning on going there sometime, but Corona,
Yeah. I would love to go back to Kyoto.
Oh, go back to Kyoto.
So I've only been there like once or twice. But I didn't get to see a lot because it was too crowded.
Sure.
It was before the pandemic. So, and then, or Tokyo. Well, to see my brother and my aunt.
Oh,
and they
fair.
live there. And then, it's just kind of explore. I mean, like the places that I have never been yet. And then now that I teach online, I have more students from different parts of Japan, so I would love to visit them.
Oh, that'd be great.
It'd be kind of nice to do that. So, Where would you like to go?
Oh, boy.
So many places.
I mean, there's a lot of places, but...
No, because you've been stuck here. No, it's the time for you to get out and explore.
Oh, whenever it becomes possible, if I could choose anywhere within Japan to go to next, maybe Hiroshima.
You've never been?
Never been there, and I've always wanted to go see it and go visit. But also, like, I'd love to go to Kyoto or Osaka. Never been, and it's supposed to be wonderful places.
Yeah.
Or, go back to Tokyo as well. I mean, Tokyo's great.
Yeah. そうね、行きたいね。I mean, you can now.
You can.
But the availability of the
Well, sure.
the airplane seats, or I don't know about that because it's packed everywhere right now. I think
Indeed.
people have been, tired of staying home, and then they're finally, out and about, enjoying themselves. So which is nice. Yes, to see the crowds after all, like for 2 years or so.
Oh, for sure.
Insane. So, Even though we don't really see international travelers now,
Right.
but yeah, it's kind of nice to see the crowds like that.
Yeah, the places are starting to feel more alive.
So more events and concerts and
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, hopefully we can do all that
For sure, yeah.
from now on and forever. hopefully knock on wood for now. Because if you look at the worlds and then that worlds have been still kind of like not very safe じゃない?
Yeah, yeah.
Because なんか Asia too, like Korea is not doing very well now, so
Right.
But fingers crossed for that.
Absolutely.
また冬休みも来るしね. Winter break will come soon.
It will come very soon. Speaking of which, any special plans?
No.
Well, you answered very quickly.
I don't have any plans. So. Not really. I just don't want to believe that it's Christmas next month. I still don't want to believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, my God. Oh my God. Like my brain is still in like Halloween mode.
I know.
Like,
yeah, but we did have a very good Halloween, by the way.
we did. Yeah, it was great. And
Your maid outfit was phenomenal.
what? I mean, I don't know about that, but
いやー、あれはすごかった。
but it was very fun to wear.
It was, yeah.
I enjoyed the breeze.
The breeze. スカートだったからね。
Yeah,
もちろんね
men are missing out because
You got to experience that.
listen, there are a few things, such simple pleasures
Simple pleasure.
as
Wow.
a breeze that goes through a mountain valley, if you will.
It's addictive now.
Yeah, I guess so.
そう、エヴァンは本当メイドのね衣装がすごかったんですよね。You even got a bra.
Oh, of course. And I mean, if you're gonna be a maid, you have to go 100%. You have to go
Right.
full throttle. You can't go on the expressway and keep it in second gear.
You have to go all the way.
You got pedal to the metal, full speed ahead.
そうだからエヴァンがわざわざブラジャー買いに行ってでYou had socks in it.
I did. The socks were my
Boobies.
my sensitive lady bits.
ね So after was it after the lesson that you came with your outfit on and then my student and I were kind of like rubbing you with it?
Oh yeah, I was ready to call the police. No, I'm kidding.
すごくエヴァンの胸を揉み下してた私と生徒さんでねこんな時はなかなか
I'm like, man, I've heard stories about the gropers,
Yeah,
but whoa, I didn't think it happened to
We were
me.
groping you. Literally. 本当そうなんか
To be fair, I invited you to
You're
cop
very
a feel.
welcoming too.
I'm like, please enjoy.
そうそうそうそう。It was so funny. Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, as a man, going to the store and buying a bra is
Not as a gift.
not as a gift is even as a gift. It's a bit of a nerve-wracking experience.
I guess so. How did you do that?
Well, I mean, because okay, so I went to the store and I'm in the ladies' lingerie section, which already I'm a man by myself walking around the lingerie section probably already looks suspicious. But you got to try to play it cool, I guess. Like
How do you play cool?
don't look at anything for too long. Just kind of
Casually.
glance at things here and there, and look at your phone, even if you just look at it and tap it a few times, not actually doing anything, just to pretend like, oh, I'm messaging someone. Oh, nice to hear from you too, Mom. But there's nobody there. And then, do a lot of, use your peripheral vision. You get to really sharpen that skill. And, I found one section in the lingerie area where they had a sale rack.
Okay.
Quite literally a sale rack, because
Rack.
whoa, buzzing.
Okay.
But all the bras in that section were 500 yen,
That's a good deal.
which is super cheap.
Yeah, it is.
Because women's lingerie
Very expensive.
is very expensive. I don't know if a lot of guys know that. Maybe
That's something that you should know.
Yeah, because don't take it for granted. If a woman wears
Right.
nice lingerie for you, she probably had to spend a bit of money for it.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure.
appreciate it, gentlemen. But so
I
like
found 500
yeah,
yen.
500 yen.
Fits you.
And I was like, okay, and they're pretty. They're cute, cute designs, nice
design
colors.
matters, too.
Of course, I'm like, I'm gonna buy some vanilla-looking, kind of like sports bras. I'm like, no.
Okay.
No self-respecting maid would do that.
So, you're gonna get the lacy ones.
Of course, it's got to be adorable. And
Yeah.
so, okay, we found the section, but I'm like, oh no, which one do I buy now? There's choices. That's
Right.
and also the big question: what's my
Size?
fake size?
Size?
What size do I want to be?
What did you get?
If I remember correctly, it was what was it, like a 75 C?
Oh, that's your ideal size.
I don't know if it was my ideal size, but it seemed like a size that was relatively appropriate.
Okay.
Like not too big, not too small. Like it didn't seem crazy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. How many socks did you have in each?
just one each.
One each. Okay.
But they were thick.
Okay.
You know, you can't put like little ankle socks in there. You gotta
Maybe not.
you gotta get
Ankle
the
socks.
no. Those aren't good enough. You need
That's not
something
gonna
thick,
work,
maybe like a
no.
winter sock or something. Something. It's firm but
Okay.
soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just right.
Yeah. Just
the perfect.
yeah. The Goldilocks
Okay.
of fake boobs. I never thought I'd say that in my life.
Oh wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, I found, and I think so. I picked more or less appropriate size, and you know, I've got my little shopping basket, and just really quickly, just grab it quickly, toss it in, and then. But I didn't want it to be like, oh, this is all I have in my basket, just this bra.
Yeah, of course
Then that
not.
looks even weirder. So I had to buy some
You
other.
threw in some other stuff.
some
that
other-
You didn't really need it.
Yeah, I didn't need them, but some other male items. Like I bought some, like I bought a pair of men's socks and a pair of
Okay.
men's underwear. Like, oh, this is just, it's for my girlfriend that doesn't exist. Ha 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 ha. And you know, and just don't talk about it. Don't bring it up. Just be normal.
Yeah.
You know, because at the counter, and of course, the clerk is a woman, and I'm like, if she says anything, you know, just be short with your answers. Don't elaborate. Don't explain yourself. Just be like, oh yes, of course.
Explain your opinion.
But I guess
Yeah.
especially here in Japan, the clerks, they don't really question anything you
No,
buy.
no.
Maybe they do in their minds. I don't know. But so it was pretty straightforward at the register. Because you know, at least in Japan, a lot of times when you buy clothes, the clerks will usually double check. Like, is the size okay? Did you
Oh,
check the
right, yeah.
size? So the thought crossed my mind that maybe she'll ask, like, is this size okay? Maybe implying it's for like my girlfriend or something.
Okay.
But I was already panicking in my mind. Like,
What would they
if she
say?
asks me about is the size okay, I'd be like, oh yes, I know my size. I mean, my girlfriend's size. Yes, yep, this is it.
Okay.
So
She did not ask.
yeah, no questions asked.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, what was even worse is when I was looking at the bras, I saw two young boys walk by, and I'm an elementary school teacher,
Okay.
and so I had that panicking moment of like, are those my students? And they weren't. I don't
Okay.
think.
Good.
But if they were, I'm like, how uncomfortable.
What would I say?
Oh, we saw our teacher in the women's underwear section by himself, grabbing a bra.
That's gonna be a good story.
I'm gonna tell everyone that I know.
Right, okay.
But
nothing like that.
yeah,
happened, so-
crisis averted, threat neutralized. But yeah, bought the bra, and I mean, now I've got one in case I need one. You never know, you know. Or I guess,
Yeah.
as weird as it sounds, I'm like, any of my friends, do you need to borrow a bra? Hey, hey. I mean, that'll never happen, but you never know.
Well, you have a set of bra in your chest now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to be prepared, I guess.
For
I mean, I don't, you know, who knows? Maybe some people's girlfriends are into their boyfriends wearing their bras.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay. Well, I did not expect us talking about bra for such a long time.
Neither did I. That's unbelievable.
うまいですね。さすがに。Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I'm sure I can see everybody cringing at home.
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow. But yeah, so I will put a picture somewhere so that you can see what he looked like really in the maid outfit, which looked really pretty actually.
Oh, very kind.
So, but yeah, it made it happen. You made it happen. You wanted to be a maid for Halloween.
I did.
And you did.
I always thought maids are just so adorable, so cute and so precious. And I thought, how fun would it be to be like the image of cuteness?
Yeah, but you did it.
I tried.
Kudos for that.
And it was so funny because I'm very thin, and my legs are very thin, and which as a man, maybe people are like, oh, "Wow, dude, did you forget to go to the gym today?" But as a woman, if you're kind of tall with long legs, it's very attractive usually, right?
Yeah, my students were all
and so,
taking pictures of yourself.
And wearing the skirt, you can really see my legs, and I was wearing tights, so you can nothing is hidden. Yeah, and at the building, the man behind the counter, I mean, the one thing he said was, "Oh, 足が綺麗ですね." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." I've never heard that before. I've never had a man tell me my legs are very pretty.
Wow. Okay.
But I was like, "Oh wow, this is a new world for me." Is this what Jasmine felt like in Aladdin? But yeah.
Well, good for you.
Oh, I guess.
Good for you. Yes. I wonder you can put on another costume for Christmas.
I could, I guess. Oh, I haven't even thought about that. Oh God.
You should definitely make use of the bra game.
I gotta get my money's worth.
そうそうそう、もったいない。一回じゃもったいないよ。
I don't want it to be a waste, yeah.
You still have the socks, right?
Oh, of course. Those are just my regular, I wear them all the time. They're well seasoned.
Yeah, okay. なので、またね、またメイド姿を楽しみにしています。Well, we talked a lot of things today. We wanted to find the focus on the Labor Day today, but ended up with bra.
Yeah, it's like using maybe Google Maps.
So,
you're going somewhere, but it might just give you a lot of weird detours. You're like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
A lot of detours for sure.
Yeah.
And ended up on a very interesting spot.
Absolutely.
ということで、wow, we talked a lot. Okay.
Sure did.
Well, thank you, Evan, for talking to me today.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
Labor Eve. I can't talk right now. またよろしくお願いします。
はい、こちらこそまたよろしくお願いします。
Tomorrow, everyone.
Indeed, enjoy not working unless you have to work. In which case, I'm very sorry.
Okay, then we'll do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Hi, thanks for listening.
Thank you. Everyone have a good night and ごきげんよう。
おやすみなさい。
じゃあねー。